Who? So let's talk about something that I recently understand why people do things and why people don't do things and why people disregards everything else. So it all comes down to what's our needs, right? Whether we do certain type of things, whether we love this thing or why we look up to this person, why we because there's a need that being met, right? If it's a need is not being met, you're not happy, right? So I come to realize what people needs are when I listen, right? When I hear what people needs are very different from my own. When we project our needs onto others and it really doesn't fulfill them, I think that's the wrong thing to say that this is how you should do it or this is how this make you fulfill. But that really doesn't make you fulfill in a way, right? So let's think of this way. What do you do that fulfill you and make you happy? Why do you do the things that you do? And most of the time we don't listen for why people do things or why most of the oftentimes people don't see why people do things to fulfill them. Now I realize what people because people have different lots of different base views and experience of life and they know themselves and they know what fulfills them the most. So I had made a connection why people do certain things and why people don't do certain things. Because usually I want to be able to help people understand why they should do this, and but people have a habit of doing it. So if you're watching this, because it comes across that people don't understand YouTube. If you're watching this, I can tell whether you're watching it or not watching it by Google, by not Google Analytics, by YouTube Analytics. But I really don't. It really doesn't matter if you're watching it or not. It's only matter for those people who need it the most, right? Who need the guidance of understanding how to understand themselves and people. Because people, even if people say they, understand themselves, or they really don't under the level, right? You see, people do things because also because of selfish reasons, also some not selfish reasons, right? People do things out of kindness, but also there's also a motive maybe sometimes. But here's the thing: I have come to realize why people do the things that they do, whether they realize or not, unconsciously they do them. But when they say these things, for me, I like to enjoy things that people don't like to enjoy. While others things that they want to do, it's how they want to view the world, right? So listen up and listen up well. This book is an amazing gift that Michael Loiser have given us to the world, right? Um, until now, I have come to realize that this book is more important that it hit home to each and every one of you, guys, because it fulfilled a need that you have, whether you go for a job that you love that's fulfilling your needs or is awesome. If you like to connect with people, that's fulfilling your needs, or you want attention that's fulfilling your needs, or you want something accomplishment that's your needs. So this book is about uncovering what you really need. So you have to ask what fulfill you, right? You have to ask what's to fulfill you or what your needs are. You know, my needs and my uh, uh, fulfillment is different from yours and I, right? Most people don't realize that, but sometimes people push on their, fulfillment and needs onto others, and I think that's not the correct way to do it. We have to ask question what's their fulfillment are and needs and come from that place. I think that's better because I come to realize why people do things um, that, and sometimes they come out of based on fear. Why people don't do certain things, but I come to realize people do things because they're also comfortable, but also they don't. You know, we often do things that sometimes we try to make sense, but consciously we don't see it. So he said, my two earlier books, Law of Attraction and Law of Connection, were about helping people bring more of what they want and less of what they don't want to every aspect of their life, including their professional and personal relationships. Over time, however, though, talking to people individually as well as in seminars and teleclasses, I came to understand that many people were not constantly aware of what they want and need in order to make their life more joyful and fulfilling. It was troubling because it was clear to me that if they didn't know what lacking, they wouldn't know where to focus their energy in order to fulfill the void they were feeling. And then he gives a list of master fulfillment needs, and I think that every one of them probably you need them in your life. So here's the thing. I'm going to read them to you, and here's the list. I don't know if you can see it. So he listed accomplishment, achievement, acknowledgement, adventure, appreciation, approval, attention, autonomy, challenge, community, connection, contribution, control, creativity, fairness, freedom, fun, important, inclusive, individuality, influence, integrity, intimacy, leadership, power, recognition, safety, security, specialness, uniqueness. So I probably hit most of these things that I want, of course, attention, autonomy. I want my own. I want to be independent. Or I think I forgot what it means. I know the word because I studied so many times. Challenge, connection, contribution, freedom, and fun. Most of all, I want freedom, right? To do whatever I want without having anybody control my time. Oftentimes, people want to take part of my time, and I don't like time. I like to spend time whatever I want to do, right? Attention, challenge, connection. When I do interviews, that's a way of connecting with people and experiencing how I see the world. That's my dream, and that's fulfillment of my needs and contribution. Whether I'm doing book reviews or videos like this, that's my contribution to the world. Um, Fun. I like to have fun. Um, Not the old way that I used to have fun, but fun in any type of way that makes me fulfilled. Fun can be anything. Fun can be watching a movie or stuff. If your fulfillment is like watching a movie, go ahead. But most people get into the personal development, law of attraction stuff. They're too serious. They're not. They stop being fun. I know that's not. If you look at Ty Lopez, I just watched Ty Lopez. It was fun to watch. Entertaining. We want to be entertained, right? Achievement. Of course, I want achievement. Like, listen. I mean, there's so many more recognition. You know, I don't know what your are, what your needs are, but you have to discover what your needs are. It's most important why you do them. People do things that make them fulfilled in life, make them happy. Whether they do martial arts, soccer, or reading, or things that make them happy. And oftentimes we don't relate to people as well when it comes to that. Because we're coming out from our needs and we're projecting that to the world, right? Or to the people that we're trying to help. and sometimes we don't see that. But I come to realize now that that is much more important. That if your job is not fulfilling you, then go find another job that fulfill you the most, that fill your every need that you need. And I come to realize that when it comes to fulfilling our needs, we must understand what our needs are, right? And we have to listen to our own needs and fulfillment. We can't just, even if people have, their under, help, but they have to come from a place of understanding first. If they don't come from an understanding of you, then it does not matter. So I think that people have different point of views, right? Different backgrounds and experiences. I come now to understand that people as a whole, no matter how much they say that they don't want um uh um what is it? um their own person, but I realize some people they they just want attention. Some people want influence. They want different things that most people don't think of. And as for you, what do you want in your life? What what you want influence? You want attention? Attention is not good or bad. Um, do you want influences? Do you want? For me, it's I want to impact the world, but in order to do that, I need to influence. I need people who can break a. See, here's the thing: why I do it. People don't understand what I'm doing is confirmation bias, right? Uh, whether we see or not, all all these interviews that I have done, I've seen something very interesting. How people don't understand. Not only do we always talk about law of attraction, but we always forget that we're humans, and there's a psychology behind what we do and why people perceive you this way, why people think this way. And I come to realize that perception is more powerful too, not just the law of attraction. Perception plays a part in people's mind, right? How? What? Why? Why? For God's sake, why is it so powerful? For instance, let's say if I pick a name, any name that a very influential person, a big name, best-selling author or a celebrity, whatever, and I interview that person, guess what happened to your mind? You change really quickly. You see it different because either you look up to that person, you're a fan of that person, or you're just like vibe. Let's say if I interview Jackie Chan, Gary Vee, you will start to see me in a different light. You start to change the way that you see. So oftentimes we don't see that. There's a psychology behind why you do the things. And I know that I'm not a psychologist, but if we understand that there's so much behind the subconscious mind, the way that we view the world and ourselves and how we project to people, right? There's always a persona, a mask behind whatever we do. And most people don't express that too often. Now I realize I start expressing who I am. You know, it doesn't matter whether people like it or not. It's their opinion. I don't care. I mean, I do care in the part. Look, you're always going to care what people think, but then you should do you what look. Whether you like it or not, people are always going to judge. Whether you do the thing that you're going to do, people are going to judge anyway. The way that I see it, this if you're going to do the things that you're going to be judged, you should be doing the thing that you love the most anyway, and be judged for that. And instead of being judged for following the rules of society, for thinking this type of thoughts, uh, for I believe that, see, I like weird stuff. I like weird stuff. Nobody liked them, but I like them. And weird is okay. I like things that normally people don't like. That's okay. That's me. I don't care. You know. Now I'm more comfortable talking what I want to talk about. Aliens, astral projections. Don't care. You know. My needs are very different from yours, right? Or my needs is to be able to. It's like I like challenge, right? I realize I love to interview different aspects of people, right? Whether they come from a beginner or they're just beginning, starting in doing uh, their own stuff, but also the one who already do stuff because I need to see the road ahead. For those people who don't understand, first of all, I have goals and wants in my life, and I set them. And sometimes people often have views of life that you want to do, but it doesn't um, come together, right? And so, what we must do is understand that we always have different opinions. We always have different because of our background, unique backgrounds, and what we saw and what happened in life. We will always have different ideas of how life works. I don't care what it is, right? But at the end of the day, we should understand what our needs are, and you should fulfill them to make them you're happy, right? That's what life is about, fulfillment. Not all these things that crap people put you on. Like if you don't like this job and people tell you to do this job, right, and that's not fulfilling you, why do you want to do it? Or you go to school so you can please other people. Why do you do that? I mean, shit. Like, excuse my language, but dang, man. Like, if that thing does not fulfill you, what the heck, man? Like, for instance, I know that there's people out there who love to read books like novels. That's what fulfills them. I don't care what it is. People have crazy hobbies. People have um different type of needs that they're meet. Whether it's great example. I used to have a need for buying a lot of DVDs back then. That was my needs back then for entertainment. Right? My needs were being met through martial arts films and um, laughters or shows because that was my needs that are being met. Maybe it could be escapism. Could be. Sometimes when you read a book, and I just read an amazing quote. Why do most people who read tons of books they procrastinate, right? On how to uh, not press, how to overcome procrastination, right? The day that because I think that also the reason why people procrastinate is fear, based on fear, right? It's all has to do with fear. Everything that we do is based on fear. We can have all the information that we have or read, but if we don't talk ourselves into doing the thing, we will talk out ourselves out of doing the thing that we should have. I talk myself out many things that I should have been doing. You know, I mean, I listened to Todd Lopez. What he said was right. Uh, no matter how much, let's say if you're in a bad relationship, he says, no matter how much yoga or meditation you can do, you got to get out. Right? And I was like, wow, that's 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 great advice, and I like that. So, what for food? What makes you do the thing that you do? Why you do it? Why you go on social media? Why what are you trying to do? There's something that in your life is not being met, and I think that you should meet them and fulfill them and make you happy. And I think that's pretty much it for today. I know that's a long video. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.